Welcome to this edition of Astrological Overview, where we are going to have a look at the planet Neptune. Neptune is one of the outer planets, and it's all about our fantasies, yearnings, longings, and potential for illusion and also confusion. This is very emotional. This is where we are diving under the surface of the water. This is a reference to our soul and our feeling. This is where we are trying to see everything as oneness, how everything is really and truly interconnected. This is also why here, when we find that what is going on outside of us in our everyday lives, is that is not in alignment with how we see paradise on earth actually here through Neptune energies, we can also risk a great deal of escapism, where we are showing up with a more addictive behavior towards narcotics and alcohol, where we're just trying to swim away from the reality because we can't deal with it, because it's just not very loving and caring. And also with Neptune, there is a reference to hospitals in the collective, abbeys, prisons, museums, and also there is a reference here to spiritual centers or sects, or it's just in general pointing to the religious element in a population. It's pointing to idealism and sacrifice. So this is where we are really trying to create paradise on earth. We see everything through very emotional glasses, where we really have figured out how things really should be, to look back in time, to look to the original element of religion, for example. What was the whole idea of religion? And also we have mysticism here. We have everything that is pointing to water also, because here we are in a feminine sign, a reference to our feelings, emotions, and where we are a little bit more, where we are trying to check up on our feelings before we make a certain decision in a certain area of our life. So here it's also a reference, since we have to do with water, it's a reference to everything that has got to do with fluid energy, such as oil and gas. But it can also, of course, point to the pollution of the oceans in general. It can point to chemical industries and also to the fishing industry. So we find the energies of Neptune in the 12th house, where we also find the zodiac sign of Pisces. So this is where we have this ability to really come home to ourselves, where we are transforming on a deep soul level. We are really looking at the world in a completely different, with a different perspective. We are kind of coming home to ourselves on a very deep emotional level. So this is also where we are giving things up for a higher cause in life. This is where we see the light, so to say. We are giving perhaps all our stuff away. We don't need our home anymore. We're just giving everything up for a higher cause. We are perhaps changing our lives in many areas. And this is also pointing to the last house of the zodiac. So this is where we are really finishing one chapter in our lives, so that we can begin a new one by moving into the first house and Aries energies. So this is really where we are seeing the light. We understand things. We see everything as oneness. We see everything with unconditional love, unconditional forgiveness. We understand that by taking those things in our lives, being extremely loving, we can resolve a lot of things. And therefore it is also, it has got to do with love at the highest frequency. And this is a very compassionate energy, and it is, as it says on the card also, it is a endlessly loving energy. Here we do not understand conflict and wars, and we do not understand structures perhaps in our society. We do not understand money and the whole concept of capitalism, because we understand that the original in things is all about giving and receiving just because we can, just out of love. So this was what I had for you in this edition of Astrological Overview. I hope you've been inspired to dive deeper into these energies. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and bye for now.